My name is David Furr. His name is Big Ben Kennedy. And this is Snackin and Yakkin.
That's right. David Furr, comedian here in the Charleston area, giving me an intro, first one, I think, that is like CNN or Dateline or 2020 or investigative journalism or something. It was so neat. This is Snackin and Yakkin. It needs something like that. I don't need to do the regular theme song. It needs to be like, my wife hates that part of Dateline.
Right.
That freaking woman's voice, whatever she does.
What's your wife's favorite part of Dateline?
Murdering husbands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but he is a comedian, like I said, here in the Charleston area. And you wanted to do this show since, like, I don't even think I had met you, or maybe I had met you once. And you were sitting next to me at the bar. I don't know who we were going to see. I was sitting next to you at the bar. I don't think I might have been an open mic night, but I think I was there to see somebody.
I thought it was
a show at Wits End.
Yeah.
And as I'm sitting there, you're like, "Hey, I'm David." I'm like, "Pleasure to meet you, David. I'm Big Ben."
Yeah.
And we're talking. And all of a sudden, you're like, "Yeah, if I came on your show, I would totally do this. Or if I was on your show, I'd choose this snack." And I'm like, "I think this kid wants to be on my show."
Right.
And then he just kept going. And the thing was at the time, I mean, I was booked. I mean, you know that. I mean, you're episode 45.
Right.
So it's been just like a nonstop of bookings. And in the beginning, I'll be perfectly honest with you, I'm trying to snag big fish. I'm trying to make a name for myself. I want the most popular guests with the furthest reach. I want people who are going to get me views or going to get me people. So my interest wasn't on guests that, were just local. I thought, man, who has a good reach? Who has that? But then, as I started thinking about this, and it was actually a recent article that was done on me in West of Free Press. They kind of asked me like what my ideas were for the show, and I started realizing that when I was a kid, getting on like WJZ 13's Coffee With, or getting on Kirk Mark and Lopez on 98 Rock in Baltimore, was like every comedian or performer's dream.
Yeah.
You were like, and I was like, and nobody really does that here anymore. All the news is crime, local crime, or local politics, or national politics, or national crime. So I was like, there's no real focus on the arts a ton. So I'm like, but I have an opportunity between YouTube, Spotify video, and then podcast everywhere else. I have a unique opportunity to kind of be a TV and a radio show.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking about the young comics who you guys, all of you at Wits End, were kind of like my idea to get this going, because I saw how much you guys reminded me of when I started out in comedy when I was 22, and I was real hungry to and I would have killed to be on like a TV show or a radio show back then. So then I was like, you know what, David, why don't you come on? Because if for nothing else, it could be a real good shot in the arm for you, man. It could be like, you could leave this and be like, heck yeah, you saw me on that? Well, now see me live. I like to give a little that dust, my stardust, like I'm running this and everybody's like, man, you're doing so good. Well, just give you a little bit right here, man. And bam, just now you get to go ahead and take care of that, man. No, I'm just messing with you. So how young are you? Because I thought 22 when I started, and I see a lot of 20 somethings.
Right. I am 36 years old.
36.
Yes, sir.
Crazy. I would not have guessed that. I mean, you're shorter but that don't mean shit.
Yeah.
But you have this young face,
right,
and this young smile. Your eyes don't really show any signs of life just beating the shit out of you.
Right.
So I guess I wouldn't have pegged you as 36, man. It's really cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But also, I think you say because I'm millennial with.
Millennial, don't have kids, don't own a home, don't have anybody depending on me really. So yeah, you can look younger, maybe not have as much, but it's the trade-off.
Yeah, because nothing's aging you. The stress of juggling all of that stuff 24/7, that'll age you quick.
No.
Yeah. So I'll get into this snack that you requested because it's really interesting, and we'll talk about that. But before we do, please subscribe, follow, comment, and share. If you do, maybe I'll share with you some of what's in this container right here. Not a chance. So when I asked David, what do you want to do for your snack? He said, Cokes, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry they're not colder. We're getting the fridge delivered this
No,
week.
it's perfect.
Yes, I mean literally getting the fridge delivered this week. It's not hyperbole. I'm dead serious. So we, I was like, Coca-Cola is easy to do. That's cool because sometimes people come with some off the wall stuff.
Right.
But then you were like, maybe a Chick-fil-A, like chicken nugget platter.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, yeah, it's a bit pricey, but my family could enjoy it, behind the scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, it'll work. Hey, lunch is covered for, the taping. But then you were like, Chick-fil-A is not open on Sunday.
No.
And do you really want day old? It's been in like my fridge and reheated in a microwave.
Right.
I don't think anybody wants that.
Yeah.
So then you're like, how about, and now your inspiration came from
Michael Clayton.
comedian Michael Clayton, who I believe was episode 9.
Yeah.
And he requested boneless chicken wings
Yeah.
and Cokes. And he said, which I think is in the social media clips, that people were going to think he was a diva bitch, was exactly it,
Right.
for requesting something that wasn't something I could pick up at a gas station, I think is how he put it.
Right.
So in watching his episode, you saw that.
No, yeah.
So you're like, how do I diva it up more?
Right.
Is that what it was?
Not exactly. It was just I was talking with Michael about it. Michael's a good friend. Michael, I kind of consider a comedy mentor to me.
Absolutely.
And a lot of comics in this area, if we can depend on somebody, it's Michael Clayton. He's always there to listen, always there to really help, give advice. But I mean, be a friend amongst all things, but also just be that kind of like comedy mentor figure. Him and Shauna Jarrett are two absolute
Gotcha.
just mentors, I think, to young comedians in the area. And so we were talking, and I was like, what snack? I don't really snack, Michael. I just have meals and whatever. And he was like, I did chicken wings. I was like, oh, you can just do whatever then. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you got to explain
okay.
yourself. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
was
why is this a snack?
I was like, chicken wings, I'll do chicken nuggets. That's fine. And then I thought about it, and I was like, oh, they're closed. So I was like, you know what? The best thing we can do, one of the best appetizers in all of America, the Bloomin' onion.
The Bloomin' onion.
Yeah.
Yes. The most interesting snack that anybody has requested thus far is an Outback Steakhouse Bloomin' onion.
You
How?
You feel that smell.
How hilarious is this?
Yeah.
And I couldn't say no to it because of how just funny this is. Like, I can't believe I'm going to be sitting here talking with you, pulling off pieces of fried onion straws and dipping them. That's so silly that I just couldn't say no. I mean, gosh, that's hilarious.
It's the most natural thing to eat, obviously.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, whenever you're sitting around snacking with your friends, you're like, if I only had a Bloomin' onion right now.
They need these at movie theaters, shows.
That's what he said. When Clayton had requested wings, I was like, can we do boneless? And he's like, oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like, we're trying to eat and we're doing all this. So, I mean, you could have done worse. We could have been doing, something bone in or something. But these are cool to pick and dip and all that stuff. Plus, we got this TV table, these TV tables. When Frankie Ramen came and brought his ramen, and he and I looked like two old people getting ready to watch Wheel of Fortune. But it's perfect because I don't mind table foods, table snacks. Since we have the ability. That's pretty funny because normally it would be back here kind of hidden from view, but this puts it right up front. And I would love to dig in a piece with you, man. So
absolutely.
We had to pick it up from there. So it's not exactly piping hot, but let me move that out of your way. But yes, as you can see, I'm a multiple.
No, that's fantastic.
I'm the kind of guy. Wow. I haven't had one of these in a while.
Yeah, they're so good.
I'm the kind of guy who does multiple fries. I like fistfuls of shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I like substantial bites, I think is the whole point.
You ever do the Wendy's thing where you take your fry and you dip it in like the frosty, dip it in? Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely.
I've been doing that since before you were born.
Yeah.
I'm not even exaggerating. I've been doing that a long time.
No, it's so good. Thanks, Coke, for sponsoring this episode. We really appreciate that.
You know what, Outback?
Really
you can.
appreciate Coca-Cola.
Outback and Coke, you most certainly can if you want.
Absolutely.
I'm going to do one more and then we'll get into talking some more. So digging into your social media, your new not new to comedy, but you're pursuing it. You're just not as far along as maybe other people. How long you been doing it?
Not that long at all. About we're in March as we're filming this right now, so about a year and 2 months, year and 3 months.
Wow.
So not
That's cool.
not that long.
So did you set it as a New Year's resolution for would it be 2024 or 2020? Yeah, 2024.
So 2020, 5, I guess was.
Oh, it was
when
5.
Yeah, so like
My math.
year. It's good. But no, kind of what I was thinking is, like, I don't know. I feel like when you're in your 30s and you have a birthday, it just kind of, birthdays aren't as fun as they are in your 20s and stuff.
Yeah, they don't
especially
matter as
when,
much.
And so I was just kind of thinking around my birthday when I turned 35. I was like, I love comedy. I love going to shows. I love live music. I love going to do things. And I've always joked around with friends. And we always say jokes in like a stand-up type style or like a one-liner type style and reference. I'm like, I'm just going to try this. Because if it doesn't work out, then I don't lose anything out of it. But if I do get to do it, then if I do get to make other people laugh, like, yeah, sure, you make friends laugh, make coworkers laugh, make family laugh, but like, what if I could take that and make other people laugh? And so like, that was really the goal, is not to like be in huge arenas or anything like that. But like, let me try to see if I can make people laugh. And if I can, just try to do that over and over again, because like, what a great feeling it is to make other people feel joy.
It is.
Feel laughter.
It is. That's where my start came from, is suffered some really kind of heinous family tragedies, which I've explained in other episodes. And so basically my desire to be around laughter and good times was very important. And I thought, even if I have to make them myself. And so whenever we would get gatherings or parties, I was always the life of the party.
Yeah.
But it's just because we're Gen Xers. Everything's always, at that time, was early 20s lament and fucking woe is me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey guys, life's awesome. Even though for me, what I had experienced in my youth was far worse than any of my friends. But I was just bringing the room up, bringing the party up. And I just took it to the stage, and it translated. I mean, it moved over immediately. And it was fun, it was fun. And it took my mind off stuff, so much so that when I gave it up, that's when I had a mental breakdown. I had to deal with some stuff that I had been out running for a long time.
What made you give it up? What made you step away?
Moved down here.
Okay.
And once I moved down here, I was a traveling comic.
Yeah.
I toured a lot. And then basically 2008 was the gas hike.
Right.
And then it was maxed out on credit cards because we financed the move on credit cards and just couldn't really afford to do the road anymore. And I like the scene here. I got in 2010 with Apples and Dusty and Mark Slacka and Derek Humphreys, a lot of those people, and had a blast, But I also at that time was becoming an EMT. And then I just started saying, well, let me focus on career and family. And that's what wound up happening, is a break turns into, well, I don't want to be away. I want to do this Boy Scout camp out with my kiddo. And I don't want to be away. I want to do this. And then as EMS by nature started taking away more of my time, the last thing I wanted to do with my days off was take away more time from my family. So the shift was that. And then as we've all gotten older and they're sick and tired of my shit, back out I go. No, I'm just teasing.
No.
They're tired of my shit, but they ain't said it. I say it, but they haven't said it yet. Oh, she has said it.
She said it.
Oh, yeah.
First time. Just
now. Just now.
Yeah, we
just now.
caught
You're
it.
witnessing the beginning of the end of my marriage. Thank you, David. Thank you for being here for it.
At least we have a blooming onion.
That's right. I drowned my sorrows in a blooming onion. Do you know when we ordered this, it came with the bread, and we ate it? The bread that you have at the table with the little brown loaf.
Oh, that's awesome.
It came with it in it. So I was just like, we're not telling David about this. And we ate the
exactly.
bread before you got here.
Exactly.
You can't eat a blooming onion on an empty stomach.
Right, exactly.
No. So that you got into it, and did you ever do what were you did you go to college, right?
I did. I went to Anderson University for a few years right out of high school. Ended up leaving Anderson, dropping out of Anderson. Just wasn't really focused at that time.
Right.
Wasn't focused. Wasn't making good memories there. Still great memories. Still have friendships there to this day. But just wasn't really concentrated on school or anything. So I went out of Anderson. I played soccer growing up. It went into coaching. Started coaching a lot. And then from coaching and from a friendship in coaching, one of the guys I knew who I played like Sunday league soccer with, he was going into school. He was a few years younger than me and went to a school called Columbia International University, which was a Bible college.
Okay, okay.
And I was like kind of going to a Bible study and some things, and I'm like, you know, I want to go back to school. And
Gotcha.
so like thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, I want to go back to school. This is something I'd be interested in. And then communications was just kind of natural because I was like, I feel like communications is something I wanted to study.
Yeah.
Like a thought at one time was doing some like radio, like sports, like announcing and things like that. And then that just stopped because nobody listens to the radio anymore.
FM
so,
radio
like,
went.
it was like in between like radio ending and podcasting starting was like
Gotcha.
when I was in school. But yeah, I went back to school when I was I think 23 and was in school for a few years. Graduated when I was 25 and then immediately did the post-college Disney program.
What?
Afterwards. So I went from like graduating Bible college to Disney, which is the most natural progression.
And you worked
yeah.
at
Disney
Florida,
for,
Orlando?
Yeah,
No
for
shit.
2 years,
So what'd you do there?
I worked in guest services.
Okay.
And worked as a park greeter.
Got
So,
you.
like,
Come on, you can do better. You
yeah,
say,
exactly.
I was Dale.
yeah, it's so funny.
I was Wally. I
it's-
drove around in that little
it's-
thing.
I love that because it's so funny that like I guess like being a shorter guy and stuff, when people hear I worked at Disney, they were like, oh, who were you? Not that
Right.
like all of those are like theater kids that have
Right.
spent like their whole lives to become like Princess Jasmine. And
Right.
they're like, oh, well, you're small and smile. You can just do that.
Right.
And it's like those guys go through so many tryouts and everything to like get to that level.
Yeah, you would have been
And-
probably Smee.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the easiest one I can think. Smee. Yeah, I can't. I you know who Smee is, right?
I don't.
He's the short little pirate who hangs out with Captain Hook
Okay.
with the striped
Okay.
shirt.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
here's something interesting. I think like some people know this, but not everybody knows that. So like those characters are in a field called like entertainment.
Okay.
And so like anybody that goes and wants to be like a princess, like Princess Jasmine or like Elsa or anything like that, they have to be a fur character for at least like 8 months before they even like
Oh.
move into
Got
like
you.
6 to 8
You got to
months.
sweat your ass
Yeah,
off of
you
that
have to
suit.
be
You got to earn it with your
in-
sweat.
And then you can move into like the other stuff. So like I had several friends down there that did fur character stuff, and also I had a good friend, Elise, down there who she was, so they don't say they are these characters, they say they're friends with these characters.
Right,
to,
right.
like, keep
Well,
that
I was
alive.
friends with Santa.
Yeah,
I've said
exactly.
that. I've said that.
Exactly. There you
Santa
go.
and I were very good friends for many years at
No.
Fort Meade's Exchange, the BXPX.
right.
Yeah, and Langley Park Mall and different events. I did a brunch on Ken Island and stuff like that, where I
Yeah.
walked around table to table with my friend Santa Claus.
right.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So
no.
friend of, yeah.
Yeah, no. So I did that for a few years, then came back, got back into coaching.
Came back. You're from here?
I'm from Columbia.
Oh,
Columbia,
okay. So you are South Carolinian.
Yeah. So was in Columbia, then lived in Orlando for a little while, came back to Columbia, got back into coaching, got some higher certificates,
Gotcha.
went from like coaching kind of like U12 to coaching high school ball and stuff. And then I was going to go into teaching, and just kind of the politics of coaching and some things like that kind of brought me out of that. But ironically, I was in school or taking classes to go back into teaching. And if I would have started teaching, I would have started in a fall semester, and I would have started teaching in January 2020.
Oh, wow.
Which would have been
Right.
like so crazy to think about, like that was when
You
I
would have
would
taught for 60
started.
days.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
And then did that. But no, did that for a little while. Ended up working at a really great community in Colombia called Adesso. That was really cool. I kind of worked as like a front desk person for a little while.
Gotcha.
And then like that wasn't what I was going to do for the rest of my life. And I was trying to think of like places to go from that. And I was applying for jobs in Charlotte and I was applying for jobs in Charleston because I wanted to get out of Columbia.
Gotcha.
And the like art scene in those two cities is what really brought me to apply there. Like the music scene, the comedy scene.
Yeah.
Like comedians and musicians don't go a lot to Columbia, but they'll go to Charlotte and they'll go to Charleston.
Right.
And so
and it's actually not too far to go to Atlanta from there either.
Right.
It's more of a lateral move, whereas to us,
the traffic and everything else, I wasn't doing Atlanta.
Yeah.
So no. So I was going to go one of those two places, and I got a job, a few job interviews up in Charlotte, and a few job interviews down here, and then I ended up working at the Sanctuary Hotel at Kiowa. I moved down. I guess near the summer of 2022, and have been at the Sanctuary since that time.
So are you down? You live down there too? Did you go down to Johns Island?
I live over in Johns Island and
Gotcha.
Work over at
Keep
the
it
Sanctuary.
close. Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, we talk about Johns Island. We've talked about relocating out there when we got older.
Right.
Because there's a lot of spots that are really nice.
No, yeah.
But also, me being a paramedic, I'm like, a lot of those places are very nice. They're very secluded and very quiet. But also, if I clutch my chest and hit the floor, you got to be prepared to say your goodbyes and kiss my forehead because I don't think EMS is making it there in time. That's the one thing. When you're in a less populous area, you have to just accept that that's part of it. You got your piece, you've got your, but also you have to understand that this is where one of you might pass.
Yeah. Wow.
Think about that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a morbid way to think of it, but
it's a great selling point as I work in reservations. Just to be like, hey, come
welcome
here.
To the sanctuary.
And you can stay here
this
forever.
Could be the place that you
exactly.
die. No.
It's a sanctuary. It's great.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, but that's a nice place. I actually, when I've worked events there, we station at the sanctuary. Like, so.
Okay.
That's because it's like a centralized location to anything down there. The PGA came through there or events at the sanctuary itself. And so we have the one room that we're stuck in, but then we go.
Stuck in.
Yeah, they kind of put us in this one room off to the side. But then we also went out there and I sat in the rocking chairs out in the area in the back there. It's so beautiful.
No,
I mean, really
gorgeous.
just peaceful and nice. And one of those kind of things where as a paramedic, you're like, I can't believe I'm getting paid to just kind of sit here and do this right now. And Charleston has its moments like that where you're like, man, it's beautiful. You know, when I first moved down here, I was kind of like, ugh, you know, because I came from a city and I was like, God's Waiting Room, the prequel, you know, and then you just go to Florida after this. I thought it was just terrible.
Right.
But then I'm like you, I love the arts. It's evident. I mean, all of this is a celebration of arts and culture.
Right. Yeah.
I was driving down, I was delivering for Best Buy. That was the first job I had here for 2 years before I got into EMS and have been in it ever since. And I was driving for Best Buy, delivering things. And I went down to Folly and you hit that little inlet right before you get to Folly Beach. So you're going down James Island, you get this break. And I looked and I said, man, that is one beautiful view. You know, I'm just looking and I'm like, that's gorgeous. You know, that's like a painting. Yeah. We go down there, we deliver the fridge in one of these little condos. Yeah. We come back and there's two people set up with easels painting what I had just noticed 30, 40 minutes prior.
Wow.
And I just went, okay. Yeah. And just to accept it as something that taps my sensibility for beauty, my little artsy, fartsy kind of side. Yeah. I can appreciate that. Charleston's gorgeous. I mean, there's a reason why people paint this place and every side street, back street, cobblestone street. They love the look of this place.
No, so like in the sanctuary, there's a in their like shopping center area there's a place where they sell paintings and they sell portraits and different things like that. And it's all local artists. And again, it's just like people coming into the sanctuary, maybe coming from other countries, definitely other cities, other states, and
Right.
things like that, and want to take a piece of that back with them.
Yep.
And so just seeing things that we see every day as I drive into
Right,
Kiwa
right.
all the time, and things I never think about,
Yep.
but just like all of these different drawings and stuff of Charleston, of Folly,
It does.
Sanctuary. Yeah. And you don't really, I think it's like neat that you don't really stop and think about like just how gorgeous just
And that's true.
all of these things are. And
That's
it's
true.
like, and it's kind of to go into like comedy with that, like when you're in the moment, when you're like locked in, telling jokes, doing whatever, sometimes you're like in your head and thinking like, I want to get through this, or like get to
Right.
this nuts
Yep.
joke, or get to
Yep.
this nuts bit. But like just appreciate the laughter and appreciate like what we get to do.
I know,
And
right?
appreciate that like we literally get to make other people feel joy and
And
feel laughter.
And when I was younger, I felt that. I was like, man, I love making people forget about their stresses and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it sounded good in print, in my newspaper articles back home, but I definitely had this drive to get the next gig, to do the next thing,
Mhm.
and I didn't think maybe I appreciated it. I knew what I was doing for others, but I
Yeah.
told my wife, if I ever get back out on the road again and I ever do it, I'm going to take more pictures. I'm going to
Yeah.
blog more. I'm going to really enjoy it. And I noticed it even with a VFW gig I did not too long ago. I was enjoying it. I was talking to people and I was getting ready to take the stage. And the promoter, he said, "Man, you're just a really nice guy, aren't you?" And I said, "Well, yeah." I said, I'm happy because this is where I want to be."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Here?" And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do. It doesn't matter where. I'm going to get to make people laugh tonight. This is exactly where I want to be.
Yeah.
And he thought that was really cool, you know? And I meant it. That's the thing, is I definitely speak with a lot more purpose. So, yeah, so I wish I would have appreciated more, but this time around with this and the social media and meeting great people and being able to stop by their places and see them again, or them reach out to me on social media, like building that rapport with this scene, I'm starting to realize, I am enjoying it this time. I'm documenting it, enjoying it, and making sure that I remember this for forever.
No. So Michael Clayton and I have talked about this a little bit.
Yeah.
He's a fan, and I'm a fan of this female musician named Taylor Swift.
This female musician.
She's an up and coming
Yeah, I thought
female
so.
musician named
I think
Taylor
I've heard
Swift.
of her.
Yeah, she's done a few things, but no, I saw her in concert maybe like 15 years ago or something like that, when she was like around, again, we're like the same age, but she was 20, 21, something. And what she said in that moment was, it's Saturday night, like you could do anything. You could be at home, you could be at a football game, you could be doing anything around town, but you decided to come here and celebrate doing this. And like, on the one hand, it's just like, well, yeah, of course, people plan their whole everything to go to a Taylor Swift show. But like, on the other hand, I look at it when I step on a stage as people could be doing anything right now.
Mhm.
And they're choosing comedy and they're choosing art. And like, people, like, streaming is so popular, and rather than streaming, they want to come and see something and experience a real life thing. And I think about that every time before I step up, whether it's a mic or a show or whatever it might be, is somebody is trying to invest in other people and you get to invest back in them.
That's
I just
true.
think it's a really neat thing.
Somebody from back home caught my show,
Yeah.
and they were like, "By the way, I watched your show." And I said, "Wow, thank you."
Yeah.
And they went, "What, you didn't think I would?" And I was like, "Well, no, I mean, you don't have to."
Right.
That's exactly what I said. I said, "You
Yeah.
don't have to." So I'm super appreciative that you did. I would be none the wiser. You could never watch my show and never tell me that you didn't or you did.
Yeah.
But the fact that you said, "I do, and I really liked that episode," and you actually told me the things you liked, and I'm like, "Wow, thank you." Now,
Oh, yeah.
bring it back to Taylor Swift. I'm a lot like her in this. No, I'm just joking. I mean, Taylor and I. No, the whole
Snackin
thing.
and Yakkin, Taylor.
Yeah,
You
the-
want
The whole thing is God, I want to not dislike her.
right.
I want to believe that somewhere along the line, there's something in there that's BS.
Right.
But let me put it out in simple terms. I cannot find evidence. You have to be some brand of sociopath to be that put together 100% of the time. You can't even catch a video of her taken by somebody's cell phone while she's walking through a clothing store and watch her treat somebody like shit.
Right.
She doesn't do it. And it's crazy to me because you figure at some point she has to be so big shit that something is getting to her, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You see interviews, you see different things, and like when I was at Disney, I actually met somebody down there who worked at one of the parks who like posted about, I think it was on Twitter or something, but anyway, had followed Taylor and had posted about like she was going through a really tough breakup. Taylor Swift, like, thank you so much, you're blah, 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 help me get through this. Taylor reached out to that person to invite them to her house for like an album recording and like exchange phone numbers and keeps in touch with a fan.
I'm telling you.
Not a fan, but who she considers a friend. Like, and
that's
that just does not happen.
She was at a show. I saw her at a concert.
Yeah.
And somebody was recording, and this girl like said hi. She like waved or she showed like a bracelet or something. And she's getting ready for the next song, and she walks over, she looks back and goes, "You were at, Charlotte, right?" She says real quick, like, "You were at Charlotte, right?" And it's like, yeah. She's going to remember this girl from the front row of another concert. Because the girl got, like, her grandma got her. She, like, followed her, like, the Grateful Dead for a few shows, I guess. And it's like, I guess you're just seriously that person.
Right.
And now I'm okay. Like, I'm not a Swiftie.
No.
But now I'm just like, you can't hate the girl. Like, I can't. Because I'm like, I just don't have any evidence to the contrary. I don't. I want to believe that eventually fame changes everyone, but I guess it didn't change her. I guess she just when she used to go, "Oh, wow," like when everybody clapped for her and she just seems so appreciative. And it's like, come the fuck on. You know who you are.
Yeah.
Knock it off. But she's super appreciative every single time.
No, and it's something I've spoken with Michael about because Michael's also a Taylor Swift fan.
He's a
something
Swiftie. Don't say
he
a fan.
Definitely is.
He's a
He
Swiftie.
definitely is. But something I've spoken with him about is that like there will be somebody that comes up to me on a Wednesday night that says, "Hey, you had a really good set tonight," and I don't remember that person, and it was like, "Oh, I saw you like 2 months ago or 3 months ago," and it's just like, like how much would it just matter if I actually like truly cared? Like, I want to make people laugh. I want to bring people joy. But like people I think comics can especially say this. We want to be known. We want to feel that relationship. Right. And so just like trying to do like the little things, like when somebody comes up to me and it's generally really nice, be like, "Hey, why don't you follow me?" And like, "Hey, just sit there to talk with a person for 10 minutes, for 15 minutes." Because like, I don't believe there's anything in my life that's bigger than me trying to have another relationship and just build that. Because again, like I was saying earlier, people caring about the arts is rare. And so we really need to care about those that do invest in us,
we do.
In a little or large way.
We had, I was at the DMV just to get my new ID. Have you seen the new South Carolina ID?
I haven't.
Freaking weird as shit, ain't it?
I do not like it.
I don't like it at all.
No.
It looks like the passport page for the new passports.
Yeah.
And then that clear part where the state's at with the hologram that it looks like you're like death notice or something. It's like a...
No, I mean, I don't know what people who are like 130 look like, but my face takes up all of the...
Mine takes up the whole block.
It's just like, there is no part of that ID that's not David Furr's face. And I'm not a fan. It's like, if an officer pulled me over and asked for it, I'd be like, "Can we just do this a different way? I really don't need anybody to see this."
It is a weird ID. I do not like it either. But anyways, I was waiting to get my picture, my ginormous license filling picture. This guy, he goes, "Hey man, I saw you a couple weeks back at Low Tide. I did a show for Comic Life." And I said, "All right on, man." I said, "Did you have a good time?" And he goes, "Yeah, I laughed." He goes, "Once?" And I said, "Hey," I said, "at least I got you."
Hey,
I said, "At least I got you once, right?"
Yeah.
And he said, "No, you were great," and he shook my hand and all that stuff. And I said, "That's awesome, man." And I said, "I'm going to have Low Tide on the show. I got Sam, the guy who brews there, brewmaster. He's coming on the show." And he's like, "That's cool." And he goes, "Well, I got to go get my picture taken." I said, "No problem. It was a pleasure meeting you." turn around, take his spot where he was standing. This other guy comes walking up to me and goes, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" So this black guy, I said, "I work on an ambulance, you know?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "I think you transported my brother after his kidney surgery."
Oh my goodness.
And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Did I run him over?" Because I do convalescent transport too. I said, "Did I run him over to the rehab place?" And he goes, "You did." And he's like, I said, "How's he doing?" He said, "Man, he's great." He said, "But I never forget a face." He's like, "Thank you for taking such good care of my brother." I said, "You're welcome, ma'am." And I looked at her and said, "What the heck was that about?"
Yeah.
In like a minute and 30 seconds, two strangers were like, "You're worth it as a comedian and you're worth it as a medic."
Yeah.
Like just valued immediately.
Value. Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, man. It wasn't like validation. I know what I can do.
Yeah.
But it was nice to feel valued. It was nice to feel like I meant something to two separate people who they didn't get together and go, "You know that guy? Yeah, I know that guy. Let's fucking ambush him." Like, no. And I was like, man, that's so fortunate. Like, what a decent day. And I'll never forget it. It was just one of those moments. And there was a moment that happened before it that was pretty cool too. But that's on the personal side. I pissed my pants in public. It was pretty cool. No, it was just on the personal side. But to have that moment happen back to back like that in public with strangers was so cool.
No.
And eventually it'll be from this show, you know, maybe I'll go somewhere and they'll go, "Hey, we're taking our bets. What do you think? What are they going to call me when they don't know my name?" I think they're going to go,
like Snack Man?
I think they're going to say Snack Man or Snack Guy. I really feel like that's going to be the, "Hey, Snack Guy" or Snackin Guy. I have a feeling that's the one, but I'm very curious to see.
What if they just drop Ben Kennedy? They're Big. Hey.
Right. "Hey, what's up, Big?" I'm like, "Thanks."
Yeah.
It's Notorious Big, please. No. But I always wonder what that's going to be. What is the thing that people are the casual name that I'm going to get from people who can't immediately recall Big Ben or Ben Kennedy or Big Ben Kennedy? So I think Snack Man or Snack Guy. You call it because it just makes the most sense.
No, yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, you said working with you doing coaching and working, you know, doing Bible stuff. You give off a little bit of youth pastor vibe there.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I think I like wanted to when I was a kid and in youth group. Like I grew up in a youth group, and I think I wanted to, but I think part of me is because I just didn't believe it was a real job. And like, how do you get paid money to just like chill with like kids and stuff?
Right.
I have friends in youth ministry. It is a difficult and challenging job, but no, I just really I think just because it was the avenue that maybe like God had presented for me, just being able to pour into kids in coaching. I think just because I was just doing that so much, because it's like, okay, how do I do like a day job, do all of this in coaching, and do all of this in like youth ministry and stuff? And so like when you're trying to drop one of them, it's like, I'll drop this because I know I can really do this and do well. Because
Got you.
Especially like coaching for like those who have been coaching in the last 15, I mean, really, I guess any time. But I mean, you get people from all walks of life. And like people may not have a good home life. People may have a great home life, but they still deserve like care. They still deserve like you actually investing in them as a person, not just a player. And like that was the most important thing I tried to do, is like, how do I care about you as a person first, and then care about who you are as a player second?
Right. So even as simply a coach, cut the religious aspect, you're still kind of doing God's work if you're being a strong mentor or presence in that youth's life, you know? Because it's a trying time for everybody.
Right.
Whether or not you live in a $1 million home or, you know, a apartment with roaches. I mean, you're kind of always trying to figure out what it all means, or you're trying to figure yourself out. So I think mentorship or coaching or just being there for kids is a good thing if you can do it, you know?
No, yeah, absolutely.
For me, it was the developmentally disabled.
Okay.
I worked with them for many, many years. And a lot of times, not so much with the older ones, but with the younger ones.
Younger, that's what
with the younger ones, when I worked for an elementary school, a lot of times you were there for the parents more than you were for the children or for the participants. But when you got to the older ones, man, those parents, I'll tell you what, you meet somebody who's got Down syndrome who's in their 50s.
Oh, wow.
And their mom's like 70. That woman has been fighting for that child, has been fighting for that person for 50 years. You will never, my grandma was one, my aunt had Down syndrome. My grandma there at the end, you will never meet a person who will cut your throat and leave you dead in the street.
Oh, wow.
They make things happen for their kid because they were living in a time where they were called mongoloids. They were called all kinds of, I mean, they fought through a lot of discriminatory, and they were called retarded and all this. I mean, God, the ARC, okay? The ARC was a organization that was for the Association for Retarded Children. Then it was the Association for Retarded Citizens. Then it just became the ARC. Does it? Not an acronym. It's just the ARC. But that's what it was. That's how much things had changed over the course of, say, 30, 40, 50 years. And it's wild. Like now it's become a lot more common, and people with disabilities are in regular elementary schools now and stuff like that. And it's wonderful to see. But like I said, through that, sometimes you find that being there for the support system, you know, so if you had a single mom who had a kid who was a little, and sports was the thing that kind of channeled him, channeled all that rambunctiousness, that mom's going to come to you. Oh, I'm so glad because the other day, and you got to kind of listen to them too, you know, like it's weird how as people, we have to understand that being there for one group is sometimes being there for 2 and 3 and stuff like that. Yeah.
No, I think I think there's definitely truth to that. I mean, I think most coaches will tell you that the nature of meeting the parent's expectation is far more difficult than meeting the child's expectation.
I can see that.
Like,
I definitely believe that.
You can definitely say that because, like, the child sees that you care. The player sees that you're like going through drills and you're going through different things and you've learned their name and you've learned about their life and you've learned this. The parent just sees, why isn't my son playing? Like that's all the parent can see a lot of times because they might not be having that conversation with, hey, Coach Furr is doing this or doing that. And so like it's that hard balance of like your kid is so much better, but that doesn't mean your kid's at this level.
Right.
And so like that's always the tough.
I'm not
always the tough one.
I'm not going to tell you where. I will tell you because I worked for Charleston County EMS, so I will tell you it was in Charleston County.
Yeah.
But I won't tell you where, and I won't tell you what. But I had to work a call with a coach who had a busted eye and a bleeding from the back of the head because
the coach did.
Yeah, some parent.
Oh my God.
Laid him out on the side of a basketball court during a game.
Yeah.
Because the son didn't get a chance to play. Where the program has rules in place, and the coach said academically he did not meet the grades and all the stuff to play. He's supposed to meet a certain thing. So you can kind of gather what age maybe range I'm talking about here too.
Yeah.
You have to have your grades at a certain point. You can't go to the principal's office for anything. There were some rules in place set that like you break these rules, you're not playing in the game. Apparently the parents thought he was just full of shit or thought that they could bully him into making it happen. Got down to the final 2 minutes of the game. Kid was not even put in for that.
Yeah.
Whistle blown, the buzzer blown. They went right over and laid him out.
Wow.
Bullshit. Complete bullshit.
Have you ever seen Coach Carter, that movie?
I've seen it. I get it all confused, dude. I get it all confused with Remember the Titans. With every coach movie, I'm going to get it confused. But
so the coach in that, Coach Carter in that, he like lays out rules and stuff. And he's just like, you show up, you are a member of your community, like you show up on time, you don't cut class, and you have like a 2.0 GPA. And like the whole town like lost it. And they're like, what?
That's what I'm saying. This coach has very simple rules.
Not the highest. Right. It's like, have a 2.0 GPA.
Right.
Like, put your name on a sheet.
Go to the principal's office for, not paying attention or being disrespectful to the teacher. You're not playing this week.
It's just like,
seems pretty right. Seems pretty even.
Yeah.
Parents. I mean, dude, oh my God.
Right. Yeah.
Like, and I always tell myself, like, no, you got to be better than that. But if I'd have witnessed that as another parent, oh my God, They'd have been taking 2 people to the hospital. They're like, what are you
Right.
doing, dude?
Yeah.
You don't hit somebody. What, you think right now, and I'm going to tell you once again, this ain't high school, okay?
Yeah.
We're not going to narrow it down much more than that. But you really think you're fucking up his chance of becoming the next LeBron James this week's game?
Yeah.
Get over yourself.
I want you to just keep going down, and it's like
I can't.
It's like
I
a
can't.
U5.
I can't
It was
whittle
like he
down
was
anymore.
4 years old.
I can't whittle down. I've already named the county. I've already told you it's younger than high school. If we keep going, I'm going to expose it.
They don't have Google. They don't know.
I know, but I can't. But I'm telling you, that's crazy to me. You know, it's just like, God. But yeah, so I never, like I said, never in coaching, did some mentoring, dealt with people of different disabilities or different abilities, and did work with some kids, you know, but I have that natural thing. Maybe it's being a friend to Santa. I have this natural thing of children just genuinely just kind of liking me or taking to me. And it's fortunate, you know, made me a good, like, as much as kid calls scare the shit out of me. It just made me nervous.
What do you mean kid calls?
Oh, if I work a call with a kid.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant just calling kids. I was like, what? What is a
Hello?
kid? What's a
And it's
kid
like,
call, Ben?
Hi, and I'm like, is your mom home? God, I'm so scared right now. I'm like, no.
They're like, it should scare you.
No,
No.
I'm sorry. Calls, 911 calls, or even just anything. I've taken like allergic reactions and different things like that. And I hate having to jab their little thigh with epi or stuff. I hate kid calls. But once again, they seem to like me just fine too. Like even if I have to do the bad stuff, even if I have to kind of hurt them for a second, they usually are all smiles and like sharing their, you know, stickers with me or handing me their stuffed animal by the end. And I don't know how I have this instinctive goodwill with children, but I really do. I used to think it's because I look like Sully from Monsters, Inc.
I can see that.
I'm big and I have the fuzzy chin, and I think maybe they equate that. I don't know. I'm just joking. I really don't know. But
no.
But even as Santa, I mean, they say, "Oh, you have any kids pee on your leg?" No. You have any kids cry and scream? No. I was very fortunate.
So interesting. Going back to Disney real quick.
Do it.
About Sully. And so obviously, like, one of the important things is being able to do the role, they're like all good dancers and singers and everybody in entertainment. But like also like height is important because like certain characters are certain heights.
Right.
So like Sully, like that actor who's friends with them is like, I don't know, probably like 6'1" or 6'2" and above.
Got you.
What's funny about that is Mike Wazowski, the like other one, you would think I would be like tall enough for him. I'm too tall to be Mike Wazowski. So
That's
I wasn't
wild.
wasn't tall enough to hit this, but if I was actually in that field, was too tall for Mickey, too tall for Mike Wazowski. It's the only time in my life I've been too tall for anything was when I worked at Disney.
You're not tall enough to ride some of the rides, but you're too tall to play some of the characters? That's crazy.
Exactly. You're like, exactly.
I'm teasing you.
No,
but that's the thing. Like, when I was a kid, I was obsessed. I wanted to be the Oriole bird, the Baltimore Orioles mascot.
Oh, wow.
I was obsessed. And then after I graduated high school, it was pretty much told to me I was too tall.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm going to do it one day. And they were like, you can't. And I'm like, why? And they're like, you're too tall. And I'm the anomaly in my family. Everybody else is shorter than me.
Right.
So if I hadn't had this like second growth spurt or pituitary tumor or gigantism gene, I don't know what the hell caused me.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have it,
you would have been the bird.
I'd be the freaking Oriole bird right now. Well, probably they would have aged me out by now. I'd be like, that Oriole bird's having trouble getting up those steps in section 408.
He's not even using his wings.
Like, what's he doing? Like, God, he's lumbering, that poor guy.
Exactly.
No, but yeah, I mean, I had met him. He was at the mall. I got my picture taken with him.
Wow.
Like I loved the Oriole bird. Every time I went to Memorial Stadium as a kid, I would tell my dad, hey, I'm going to go see the Oriole bird. That guy would let me walk half the stadium around. I mean, you wouldn't do that now. You'd be like, no, I'm going to walk with you. But he was like, go ahead. And I'm like 44,000 people deep over that way going to see the Oriole bird.
Wow.
But I loved that mascot. I still do. Yeah. But yeah, I really wanted to be him so bad. But yeah, and I did some costume character work.
Okay.
For birthday parties and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I was friends with I'll do them in the order
You're
of.
like, I was friends with the clown.
I'll do the order of funny one to like holy crap one.
Yeah.
I was friends with Blue from Blue's Clues.
How? The dog?
Mm-hmm.
So you were too big for the bird, but you could be the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was friends with SpongeBob.
I can see that. Yeah,
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But I think the funniest one was I was really good friends with Lala the yellow Teletubby. Yeah.
Now, were the other Teletubbies there, or was it just Lala?
Just Lala. I don't understand. I don't understand why my yellow self was the only one there. That was it. Just me walking around as a yellow Teletubby by myself.
Baby in the room with you.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing. I never understood it, but it was so funny. One of the things about being a friend of Santa, I'll tell you something fun.
Yeah.
Go to do company Christmas party.
Right.
Okay.
Sure.
Now, at the time, I'm 22, 23.
Oh, wow.
I'm young when I started doing this.
No.
I finally stopped. I think I was maybe like 26, maybe 27. Because I think I did it to get your engagement ring.
What does that interview process look like? Are they like, do you have weaknesses?
No,
and
this
be
will
like, you
blow your
mean my
mind.
naughty list? No, it's
This will blow your mind. I'm at Spencer Gifts. I worked for Spencer Gifts. You familiar with?
Yeah.
Okay. I worked for them back when they were like pretty much like an adult shop with like, I mean, they were an adult shop. Like, I mean, there was like a beaded curtain that separated you from half the place because it was like naked people on birthday cards and penis-shaped pasta. It was like real.
Yeah, like I got a Blink-182 album from there. It was-
Now, that's later. That's when
Yeah.
Universal bought them. Back when
Okay,
I worked for
gotcha.
them, they were owned by Seagram's,
Okay.
like the gin company. And so it was pretty dirty, pretty bad. But anyway, point I make is I'm working there and we have these Santa hats with the beard and mustache attached.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wearing one and I'm joking around and I'm walking around talking to everybody.
Yeah.
So I take it off and I'm hanging it up and I say, yeah, when all of this goes gray and like I get a beard and it goes gray because I couldn't grow facial hair really at that time.
Yeah.
So I was like, when I get a beard, it all goes gray. So I'm going to be one of those real mall Santas.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, well, if you had a fake beard and everything, would you do it now? And I was like, well, I don't see why not. And he's like, well, here's my card. And he had a costume character group.
Oh, wow.
It would happen just like that. His name was Gary Neese. He's passed away, but Gary's a really great friend of mine. And I love his daughters, Crystal and Jason. If you're watching, I don't know. I love you. But yeah, so and then I just teamed up with him and everything just led to I did like skeleton creatures for Halloween. We walked around the mall and yeah, it was all kinds of stuff. But yeah, it was a great time. It was fun. But yeah, I got a box at home with little lists that kids gave me and drawings that they gave me. I had a box somewhere. It might have gotten lost in one of the many moves I've done since then, but maybe not. And
what was the craziest thing somebody asked for? Do you remember any?
No, I mean,
Gifts, not really.
one of the things was Langley Park was a primarily Spanish-speaking mall.
Okay.
And I don't know a lot of Spanish. I know a little bit. So I could catch the gist of what people were saying. But what was very interesting was almost all popular product names are in English.
Huh.
So they would be like, da-da-da-da-da-da, Barbie doll, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, Hot Wheels. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no real Spanish name for these things. They're American products. Yeah. So I said, oh, see, you know, like, and, you know, and just, it was fun, you know, and I picked up on a little bit of stuff. I was able to hear what they said and I was able to repeat it back to them. And they would say, Feliz Navidad. They say Papa Noel. Some people call me Papa Noel as opposed to Santa Claus. And it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that time in my life. It really helped me learn how to temperature regulate pretty well. It was pretty awesome. So I learned so then for the first time on stage, I didn't sweat much, you know, because I was used to being in hot suits. But then later on, when I didn't do costume character work anymore, them lights, man, I don't know if you've ever seen, you saw me at, I had to wear a hat. You saw me at Pub on 61. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was sweaty. Yeah. He took the picture of us at the end of the show. Yeah. I'll never forget this. David's like, all right, everybody, Ben, put your leg down. Because I'd had my heel was hurting me, remember? Yeah. And I had my foot up to kind of take the pressure off my heel. And apparently it looked weird to him. So he's like, everybody, he's like, in a little bit tighter. Ben, put your leg down. I'm like, okay, photog. Okay, Mr. Cecil B. DeMille. Like, what the shit, dude? It's so funny, though. I said, I love it, though. Every interaction I have with people, be it good or bad, if I can remember it, I totally dig it. Because, I mean, that's all we are, is a series of just intersecting moments. Right. I mean, honestly, we intersect with people. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. But you look back on them and go, man, that person, I don't know why, but they instantly hated me. You know, I can admit that. I'm like, I don't know why they just did not like me. And then it's like, wow, that's crazy. I'm like, isn't it? But it doesn't mean like I want to go back and find them and hit them with my car or something. It's just life, you know? No. So you have bad audiences, you have good audiences. I've had far more good shows than I've had bad shows. Right. Yeah. Very blessed to connect with an audience real easy. But I've had some genuine cricket fests. Mm-hmm. And they were crazy. You know, I remember my first one, I was just like, what did I do wrong? And I was just, oh my God.
Michael told me a joke one of his friends used to do. At shows, and he's like, I don't understand why the crickets only come out to my set.
That's good.
I was like, I love that so much.
That's good. So, Mitch Hedberg had a good joke like that too. He's like, they say you can't please all the people all the time. He's like, and last night, all the people were at my show.
No, it's great. It's great. No, I love that. No, I love that. Speaking about like audiences and stuff though, I'm wearing a shirt from one of my friends' band.
Sure.
My friend, it says OK Chief. It's my friend Joe Wheaton's band.
Okay.
And, Joe, I actually met through doing like music mics. So sometimes I've gone where it's been like primarily like music or poetry. Yeah. Just gone and done comedy, and like he'll give me a little bit more time, and he's been really nice and things like that. But it's interesting to me that like with comedy, like we so much need like that engagement, and with music at times like they were just playing, and if they get engagement, that's like so much better. But like I think we all want it, but like at times I'm like, I wish I could just be like a musician and not care if people are like caring right now and stuff, just because to have
you're creating your own art and you're fine with just the experience. Exactly.
But we so much need like the give and take in order to do what we do.
Well, doesn't it also affect our energy too? Because I can tell, like this last show that I had, the audience was a bunch of drunks, and they just weren't giving everybody their respect, all the acts that came before me.
Were they heckling, or were they
not heckling, but just not watching, not being respectful, talking amongst themselves kind of deal.
Yeah.
So I told Neil, I was like, you play BYOB by System of a Down. Right? So he's like, why do you always request songs? I'm like, just play it. He goes, okay. So he plays it, and I'm walking up the stage and like, I go on the mic, I go, why did I always send it back? Like, I fucking scream. The whole place goes, what the shit?
Yeah.
Then I go, hi, how's everybody doing? And I sat on the stool. I didn't do any stand-up. I sat down, and I just started talking. And then they start laughing, and I start, anything that they had kind of said, or anything that a previous comic said, I tagged on to. So I got their jokes, the laughs that they deserved.
Wow.
And I just kept going around the room.
That's really neat.
And they were like, holy crap, man, you killed it. And I'm like, yeah, but that also, I came home and said, I don't think I'm doing any more bar bangers anymore.
Yeah.
Feel like it doesn't fit this brand. You know, like I would be embarrassed if somebody had video of the kind of stuff that I had to say, because you have to be so much more aggressive in a bar. And that just doesn't fit like what I am or who I am. Like here, this is really me. I love talking to people. I'm not aggressive like that. I do cuss on this show from time to time, but not anywhere near the amount of cussing I had to do to get the attention of drunks.
Yeah.
Wow. And just stuff like that. Like I said, nobody.
Do you think
I wouldn't be canceled if you fucking recorded it?
Sure.
But I would definitely be like, who's going to tune into this show after seeing that kind of? I didn't even promote Snackin Yakkin on the stage. That's how much I was like, this is not touching my brand.
Do you think to a degree though, like you have like I don't cuss a lot during my sets, but
No.
do you think like to a degree though, in a room full of drunks, in a room full of people who aren't paying attention, by cussing, by doing that, is actually in a way respecting the audience there? Like,
Well, you're speaking their language,
yeah,
right?
exactly. So like, I mean, something I've heard a lot in comedy, and I believe this 100%, is that like being funny is always second. Making a connection is first. We have to make a connection to the crowd. And so, like, I believe that 100% is by you speaking in that way, you're making that connection, which then you can be funny after that because you made that connection.
Right. I mean, the thing that I keep noticing about the comics in this area is they seem eager to get their joke out there, the words.
Yeah.
But they don't seem to understand that, like, the first time that you do it is when the audience tells you what they want.
Huh.
Then you shape it based on that first response. Then you do it a couple more times. And if you start to notice that the audience really likes that second part, you keep the second part, you start working on the first part.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen my show. I start off with a premise, bunch of little jokes throughout, hit the punchline. That's it. It's almost like a long form story that just keeps evolving. And my wife and my daughter, and then cut to my son, and then back to my wife, and then their damn pets. And then, I was at the mall and but you got to keep laughter going. At any point, I don't know, they write the bits, and I love the kids in this area, and I think they're all very talented, but I watch them do this bit, and then they're like, yeah, I like the new bit. And they keep doing it the same way, even though it has not gotten any more laughs each time they've done it. And it's like, it's not complete. It can't be. You got to keep shaping it. You watch a guy like Clayton, you watch some other comics.
Yeah.
They do that. They get it. Maybe I need to bring more energy to that part. Maybe I need to take it back a little bit on that. They mold their kind of thing, and then you've got something surefire. Every time you step up, you know that's going to hit because you've tested it and you've molded it and you let the audience shape your bit.
See, I think years from now, I will probably be different than what I am right now.
Of course you will.
But like what I do now and what I've focused on and do a lot is some connect, some don't, but I do a lot of one-liner type jokes.
I do. I remember that.
I do a lot of 1 to 2 line type jokes. And the reason why I do that is because I think like the most prevalent form of comedy that we have today is like memes and like TikTok videos. It's just these quick like 20-second videos. It's this quick like joke that you can just tell somebody. It's like, you're not going to tell somebody about a Seinfeld episode that has, or Arrested Development episode that has all these jokes built on it. You're going to say like the one meme or the 2 quick line joke and things like that. So I try to write jokes in a quicker type format because in my head, again, I'm relatively new to all this, but in my head, it's like, okay, they might not remember a story, but they might remember 2 of my jokes or 3 of my jokes.
Well, also you can get like 2 or 3 of them out in a minute-long clip.
Yeah, exactly.
So that offers a lot more than just, like I couldn't do that. I don't have short form. I don't have any short jokes like that. I don't have any one-liners. So every time I do a clip, it has to be at least a minute because I'm just long-winded. I mean, hence the show. I mean, but that's also what I'm telling you too is social media. That's another reason why I created this, is so that you have this moment to be long form, funny or insightful or something like that. And some people use it to be heartfelt and sweet, and some people use it to just crack jokes, and some people use it to pitch their company and all that stuff. But I'm offering you a chance to like kind of, you don't have to worry about so many social media clips, But I don't know if you noticed, I came out to MK's, then I promised them I would support their first hosting of the Monday open mic. And you were there.
Yeah.
And I knew I could only stay roughly for about the first 7, 8, or 9. Because there wasn't any spot for me in the lineup. I was like, I can't stay out late. I have to work the next day. But I made sure I stayed for yours. I was dead center.
Oh, really?
Yeah, stayed for yours.
Well, thank you.
I think I left after Liam Clancy's or something like that.
Okay.
And I feel bad to the second half of comics, but I was just like, sorry, I got to go. But I'm glad that up in the front, other people who aren't fearless or aren't fearful of the front, Casey Lever, you,
Mhm.
Liam Clancy. I mean, it's really like my faves. I mean, not my faves, but like my friends, like the
Yeah,
ones
yeah.
that I value as like friends in the scene were all up in the beginning. And I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was the one who offered up was it the drag name or for MK? MK had the thing,
So,
the porn name or the drag name.
Yeah, yeah.
And I yelled one out and I felt bad that I like distracted them.
Yeah.
Then when I saw them at the bar afterwards, I was like, I yelled at that one. They were like, that was really good.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
it was
I
really
know.
funny. It was
I
really
tried. It was like, give me the best stripper name or give me
Yeah,
your
yeah,
best.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
just was like, I mean, immediately.
funny. Yeah, exactly.
I can't even remember what it was because it's just my
No.
brain fired off that quick.
Sure.
It wasn't like I had an idea. But anyway, so I know we're coming up on the hour, if we're not at the hour already. And I just try and keep these episodes and it's only in the interest of time. But I mean, I always want to have guests back and stuff like that. I know we fought long and hard to get you on here.
Yeah.
45 episodes, but you won't be a stranger, man. I'll have you on here again soon enough.
No, absolutely.
Like, so before we get it, like ideally, are you in the thing want to be a past comic or do you want to get out on the road? What do you want in your short term like goal? What would you love to be doing this time next year in comedy?
Sure. So this time next year, I would just want to break more into a regular rotation of shows. I'm not going to sit here and say that a year from now necessarily that Josh or like Whit should pass me. If they pass me, I think that comes second nature to doing a really good job over and over again.
Gotcha.
And so
Okay.
I just want to consistently be able to get on shows, consistently be able to put something out there where I can invite people to, where I can invite friends to,
Yeah.
family to, coworkers to, whatever, and say, this is a really good show. You know me, but we have an amazing show and I want to be a part of
Introducing
that. So, like,
yourself,
that's my
introducing
thing,
your people to other people.
yeah, because I get to just have that opportunity to make people laugh, have that opportunity to make people have a good time. And so a year from now, like I'm currently doing that through Mike's. I'm on a when is this episode going to drop? Kind of like
Maybe April. Yeah, maybe April.
Okay, I'm on a show.
Maybe
April,
the end of March, actually.
maybe end of March. Okay, well it might be in time. I'm going to be on a show at Purple Buffalo with Michael Clayton.
Oh, nice.
On Thursday, April the 9th. So,
might be.
So, yeah, it'd be great if people could come to that. It'd be
Yeah.
great to have people out there and stuff. But I just want to be more consistent and really working, really honing a good craft of jokes, really respecting the audience, making those connections, and having those opportunities to let people have a great time and have people laugh.
Let's see. So so you're it might be the Monday after that, possibly.
Okay.
Like I said, we'll see. I don't know yet.
No, yeah.
I was good about writing down dates, but I just got lazy and just started writing down
No,
episode
you're
numbers.
fine.
But
You're fine.
But yeah, also in getting that rotation and getting to play other places and all that stuff, you have that opportunity, like I said, to mold your style into what pleases all, because it may not please everybody here, but what you can pay attention to, and I'm telling you, it's what I do. People who kind of think the same, look the same. It's hard to it sucks to stereotype people,
Right.
but it is more often than you think. If you see a certain bunch of people who look like this, they're all wearing sports jerseys.
Yeah.
Well, the last time you saw a group of people wearing sports jerseys, that joke went over great, and I bet you any amount of money it will here too.
Right.
There's just something about that. You hate to stereotype,
Sure.
but you just know, I saw this room before,
Mm-hmm.
and you just piece it all together. And it's really just practice. Doesn't make perfect, because there's no such thing as a perfect show, but practice makes a ton of difference. And it really, if you keep doing it for the same place and the same audience every time, then you're only going to be what that room needs you to be.
Exactly.
Keep plugging away, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Thank you for not giving up,
Yeah.
for being persistent about wanting to come on here, because I had a really great conversation with you today. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
And found out you and I with the with the friends of and the kids, and we have a lot more in common than I thought, man. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Not just our height. I mean, we have a lot in common.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank
David
you so
Furr,
much.
God dang, man, and the best snack ever. If you grab one of these with me to cheers for the end of the show.
No, absolutely.
So go ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, this with the most interesting snack, the Bloomin' Onion, was David Furr. David, thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for snacking and yakking with me. If you want to rewatch this episode with your own Bloomin' Onion, not sponsored, but it's pretty fun. Anyway, and love you guys. See you next Monday. Bye.
Thank you for watching another episode of Snackin Yakkin. If you haven't done so, like, subscribe, and follow. Also, hit up the social media. And don't forget about the Patreon, just $5 a month. And we'll see you back here next week to do some more Snackin and Yakkin.